passable roads reached Torgnon in 1940. First, only trails to travel on foot or on muleback connected this cheerful, sun-kissed village in the lower valley, on the slope of the Val Tournanche or that of Verreille. These still passable roads maintain their untouched charm and allow a relaxed approach to the territory and all its characteristic aspects. The surface of Torgnon is expansive, and the morphology of the land produced the birth of many villages that extend from the center of the village in every direction. This is a settlement of rural origin. The architecture, which is based on the use of local construction materials, the grey stone sparkling from the inclusion of minerals, the wood blackened with time, the gaps in the roofs where moss is inserted. During good weather, real explosions of colour illuminate the windows and the balconies, thanks to the vases of flowers that give the landscape a charming touch. In the lower part, in Valais, a house is distinguished from the others in form, size and style. There is the house where an illustrious Torgnolane was born, the canon François Gabriel Froutin. Born in a village that gave many sons to the Val d'Ostan church, he was a well-known historian. Arriving in the hamlet of Mognon, visitors are welcomed by a parade of institutional buildings. The parochial church, the municipal building, and the nursing home, founded by Monsignor Cento, now transformed into a tourism facility. The parish is said to date back to 1176, but the current building in neo-Gothic style, consecrated to San Martino, was built in 1868. Its excellent acoustics allow it to host not only the religious functions, but also internationally recognized concerts. The kindergarten and primary school are behind the town hall. Now all of the village children attend it, while there were once many other village schools. These have now disappeared, but the plaque that was placed on a home in the Chatrian hamlet recalls their major significance, making the Aosta Valley the most literate territory of Italy between the 19th and the 20th century. The most attractive corners of the hamlet, however, are set back from the drivable road that crosses it. The narrow roads, paved in stone, wind among the houses. The low wooden doors recall the previous function of stall, barn or granary. The small windows, often with a cross above them, and complete with railings, tell of cold winters and folk religion. The heart of Mognon and of Torgnon is the Froutin Square. A place of meetings and events, in summer and in winter is a point of departure for all the roads in the direction of the mountain. That to the Saint Pantaleon Col, leading to Verreille and Saint Denis, thanks to the asphalt road, but also with many paths. And the one that soon forks to lead to Septumian, and from there to the basin of Chantournay, or to the Petit Monde. This last is practically a world in itself. Obligated to spend periods of isolation due to the snow or closings of the road by landslides, now less of a danger thanks to important consolidation efforts, was a quite self-sufficient area. The hamlets of Étirol and Triatel are part of it. In the heart of this latter, a rural settlement with a central nucleus dating back to 1462 was recovered and intended to be an ethnographic museum. It is articulated in 3 different buildings: the Rakar, the rural building, the barn and the granary. The visit is made on 2 levels: that of the approach to the facility and to their original functions, and that of the knowledge of the rural world, thanks to the reconstruction of its life and work environments. The furniture and the tools that fill the rooms were provided by the entire community, which rifled its attics and trunks to find not only objects, but also clothing, linen and crockery. The museum has been open since 2004, every day during July and August, and by appointment in the other seasons. Visitors are able to understand this world of the past through cards and videos that explain the functions of various objects. They may also hear the sounds of country life and the stories of those who lived it. The journey into the past is completed by a visit to the mill on the Petit Monde River. The museum also has a festival day, August 15th. From Étirol, a trail heads towards Gilliaret, the furthest alpine meadows from Torgnon, bordering Val Tournanche and offering a breathtaking view of the Matterhorn. There are so many reasons to visit Gilliaret. We have mentioned the view, but there is also a sundial, a small cromlech megalith, a reminder of the Salassa population's Celtic origins, and the chapel, around which the Fête de Montagnard is held, an end-of-summer event that brings together the many herdsmen who have come down from the mountains with their flocks in the past 100 days. The cows stay in the alpine pastures allow the production of the delicious alpine meadow fontina, a protected designation of origin cheese that owes its flavor to the mountain wildflowers that feed the cows. But we must not forget the butter, the Toma cheese and other fresh cheeses from the same tradition. The alpine pastures that occupy the meadows of Chantonnay, Lodétor and Gilliaret are a tourism destination for trekkers in summer and skiers in winter. The first tourists arrived in Torgnon in 1925. The first hotel opened in 1937, and the first ski lifts date back to 1962. Since 1992, the planned snow equipment has allowed perfect maintenance of the slopes, even without the help of precipitation. Since 2010, a superb network of trails, able to challenge even the most expert skiers, departs from the Collet. Just speaking of trekkers and skiers doesn't do justice to the many sports activities available in Torgnon. There are alpine and Nordic skiing, ski mountaineering, snowshoeing, snowboarding, hiking and horseback riding, climbing up to the Punta Tzan, rides up and down by mountain bike, and parasailing. There are possibilities for every level and every age, demonstrating why Torgnon is a favorite destination for families, with its infrastructure of games for children spread throughout in the villages. The Torgnolais base their existence on this duality: farmers and artisans on one hand, and tourism hosts on the other. There are many and varied hospitality facilities, hotels, bed and breakfasts, the agritourism sites and Second Case. There is also a wealth of restaurants, offering tastings of delicious produce from the nearby land, along with delicious Italian and international cuisine. There is polenta, soup based on rye bread, still baked only once a year in the wood ovens, cold cuts and cheeses, all washed down with a good wine. The vines are not in Torgnon, it's true, but the village was part of the fief of Clee during the Middle Ages, and the simple passage of the Saint Pantaleon Col allows the descent to the wine-producing area of Chambave, famous for Moscato and Pinot Grigio. Many Torgnon still cultivate vineyards and produce their own wine. In this journey of knowledge, we almost forgot the primary characteristic of Torgnon. Its climate is mild, the sun is almost always shining, and visitors receive a warm welcome. It's not just a stay, it's an indulgence.